And behind them, the number 6 machine of Frederick Faubert. And rounding out your field, starting scratch, it is the 24 of Billy LaPlante. Green flag racing conditions here as we head into turn 1. Now on down out of turn number 2 is Zyra going to the outside, the 89 of Oban. Oban down the backstretch. He'll fire into turns 3 and 4. To the top side, he will take his machine. To the bottom will be Zyra, looking for a little bit of racing groove as they come out of 4. But Oban will lead lap number 1. And yes, Gene, my friend, the early race leader. Lap number 1, it is scored as Matthew Oban. Oban now opening up a little bit of a lead on to the backstretch. He'll take his machine into turns number 3 and 4. Zyra settles into that number 2 position as now the 06 machine of Frederick Faubert. As a little puff of smoke starting to come out of his machine as he takes out of turn 4, and getting way out of shape is Castell into a tire, bounces off another, kind of ping-pongs his way down the front stretch, and most definitely Austin will bring out the yellow flag as well as our honorary flagger tonight down in front with the fine young gentleman doing a fantastic job. We got to make a mention to him directly behind the flag stand. No, the green flag remains on the field here as Obed has really got off to a torrid pace as he heads down to the backstretch. Zyra into that number 2 position. The 06 machine of Faubert continues to smoke. Kind of reminds me of the old Spy Hunter game on Nintendo as he's whipping out the smoke screen. It's Castell back onto the racing surface as Oban has really taken advantage of this as we've got a cone down on the bottom in turn number 4. And that will hinder the bottom groove coming out of turn number 4. Zyra now will put the number 24 machine of LaPlante down a lap on lap number 4. We've got 1 lap remaining on the field. 6 laps the distance tonight as Oban is hooked up and out of sight tonight. 1 lap remaining for him on lap number 5. Zyra will fire out of turn number 2 down to the backstretch. He's got wide open spaces in front of him. Zyra hangs on to that number 2 position. Faubert getting pretty good chase here as they'll challenge him for that number 2 spot as they'll head into turns number 3, but it'll be Oban out of turn number 4. He will win heat race number 1 tonight for the Mod Lights as Castell, all sorts of trouble here as potentially issues. Maybe he doesn't like the white tractor tires.
Pretty good. We just had that minor little spot down in turn number 1. But up in front in the second bandit heat is going to be Daryl Mitchell's 37 with 3-time winner Stuart Musa in the 101. Jean-Marc LaRose back with us in the 003. Danny Lefebvre in the 05. 12 of Randy Whiting. And rounding it out will be the One Eyes of Bob Ray. This car normally campaigned by Chris James on a regular basis at Cornwall on Sunday nights. Chris suffered a concussion a little over a month ago and has been on the sidelines. But rumor has it he will be back in that car hopefully before season's end. So great news for Chris. Up in front, though, Stuart Musa leads the way going into turn number 1. The 003 of LaRose works it up into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, and I tell you, that number and that paint scheme surely reminds you of a familiar face that used to be in this division. Of course, Mitchell Jock drove the 003 machine to numerous feature wins and a couple of track championships in this very division. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go, and Stuart Musa knows his way around the speedway very well. He's won 3 times this season as he works down the back straightaway. Jean-Marc LaRose was impressive in his debut last week. Of course, Jean-Marc, no slouch whatsoever. Last 2 seasons, he flat out dominated the rookie division at Brockville, winning 18 feature events and 2 track championships over the previous 2 seasons. And Daryl Mitchell continues to hold down that 3rd spot. Danny Lefebvre and Bob Ray, a couple of Cornwall regulars right there in 4th and 5th. Good to see Randy Whiting back out in the number 12, but he rounds out the field in 6th right now and has a little catching up to do. Off of corner number 4 we go. 2 laps left to go for Stuart Musa. He leads the way down in front. LaRose has been not able to close the gap going down into turns 1 and 2. Daryl Mitchell in the 37 with a feature win already this season as well. Works it up into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Daryl won with us way back on May the 25th, so it's been a while since he's been to victory lane. Up into turns 3 and 4 we go. Farewell flag is waving for Stuart Musa, and LaRose gets up out of shape off of turn number 4, and that's going to allow for Daryl Mitchell to get on by, but LaRose trying to fight back with him on the top side into turns 1 and 2. Mitchell will grab the number 2 spot going down the back straightaway off of turns 3 and 4 this time, and a half straightaway lead for the 101 of Stuart Musa as he works it up into turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, and Musa will grab the win as Daryl Mitchell heads down the front stretch into 2nd. Danny Lefebvre, a good run for him. He'll come home in 3rd. Bob Ray, always a threat to win no matter what car he's driving or what track he's at, comes home 4th. Randy
21G of Scott Muir. This second row will be made up of the 7 of Sylvain Laframboise. To the outside, it will go the number 8 machine of Harley Brown. To the inside, the 88 of Matthew Robinson. Brian Green in the 11 machine. To his outside, second row actually. In behind him, it will be the 28 machine of Eric Disselette. And starting scratch on the field, the 2 machine of Matthew Shontosh. Waldroff off to the race lead here on lap number 1, coming out of 4, as moving his way up through the ranks. It is the 7 Laframboise, but now to the inside. He'll take a peek at the 88 machine of Matthew Robinson. Laframboise comes back around on the top side, down to the backstretch. They'll fire on this gorgeous, gorgeous summer evening. Glad you're alongside us. Number 1 position is scored as Waldroff, as he'll come around turn number 4 on lap number 2, and he continues to lead, but he's got some pretty good company in behind him. The 7 of Laframboise is going to look for an opening here, as now backing out of it a little bit is the 88 of Robinson. He'll slip back into the number 3 spot. Number 4 spot. Sliding up in the number 3 spot is the 11 of Brian Green. Green now right on the rear bumper, squeals the tires just a little bit coming out of turn number 4, and he looks to run down the number 2 position car, the 7 of Sylvain Laframboise. To the inside, Green, he'll put a sneaker up in there as he gets the car up further in the racing surface. That'll force the 7 machine to the high side. Waldroff, he's got all sorts of handling here, as he's got to handle the 7 of Laframboise and the 11 of Brian Green, the numerous time winner here. There goes Green to the bottom, coming out of turn number 1 into turn number 2, but Waldroff holding his own here on lap number 4. Down to the backstretch, he'll fire. The races for that number 2 position is now Laframboise. 3 wide, maybe going into turn 4, but Laframboise going to back off it a little bit, but here comes Brian Green to the inside. 1 lap remaining. The white hanky on the field. Waldroff gets a nice bite onto the top side going into turn 2. Fire down to the backstretch. Brian Green gets off the gas just a little bit as he'll take into turns 3 and 4. Laframboise, he's not done yet. He's looking to regain that number 2 spot. But coming out of turn 4, Waldroff to the outside. He is the only heat race winner tonight for the Mod Lights. 7 qualified, Tim. Very quick moving along racing action for the Mod Lights.
10 laps for the first of 358 modified qualifying heats. Off of corner number 4 we go. We have Green, and down in front into turns 1 and 2 they go. It is Shane Pecor, your early race leader, as they fire off down the back straightaway. Brian Slim McDonald has come up nicely into that second spot. The 77 of Plank rolls by Delorme to pick up that third spot. Down in front they go already, and the 4 of Pecor loses that lead down in front, and Brian McDonald will lead the opening lap as they work it down the back straightaway. Pecor, Plank, Terrance, and Delorme. That's your top 5 as Delbert LeGros and Casey Swamp complete your field. Up off of corner number 4 we go. And Slim really hauling the mail going into turn number 1. And down the back straightaway he will go. And Shane Pecor has his hands full with 2 strong competitors in the form of Dale Plank and Kerry Terrance. Field working down in the turns 3 and 4. And Brian McDonald sending a torrid pace in the early going in this one. 3 laps are complete, 7 more to go. Here comes Dale Plank in a bit for second down low on Shane Pecor. And Pecor started on the pole, has lost a couple of spots just before the halfway point here. And the natural now up into that second spot with Pecor back to third. Kerry Terrance and Roy Delorme still complete your top 5 as they head down in front one more time. Brian McDonald continues to lead the way. Dale Plank starting to close the gap just a little bit. He loves these dry, slick racetracks, and that's about what it's going to come to here tonight. As you see some rubber already starting to be laid down in the multiple racing grooves out here, and Brian McDonald running away and trying to get away from Dale Plank going down into turns 1 and 2, but Plank makes up so much time going into turn number 1. He drives it in deep going into the turn, but off the corner, Brian McDonald's able to pull him by about a couple of kart lengths. Off of corner number 4 they go. 6 laps are complete, and McDonald still continues to lead it. Plank still sitting back there in second. Good battle going on for the number 3 spot as Terrance gets down low. The 4 Pecor on the top side, and Terrance will move by Pecor to take away the number 3 spot as they go off into turns 3 and 4. 3 laps left to go for McDonald. He is gone and checked out on the rest of the field. The 77 of Plank still right there in position number 2. His Twin Leaf teammate Kerry Terrance back there in the 3rd spot with Pecor, and Roy Delorme having a solid run in 5th. Casey Swamp and Delbert LeGros round out the rest of your field as they work it down the front straightaway. McDonald using a very low line, much like Dale Plank, as they work it up into turns 1 and 2. Plank's car looks like it's a little bit tight. He gets in between turns 1 and 2, and the car does not want to turn on him, so obvious adjustments are going to have to be made for the 77X if he wants to get going forward in the feature event later on tonight. White flag being displayed for Brian McDonald, as the 77 of Plank has done everything he can to run him down, but it looks like an ill-handling race car will relegate him to the number 2 spot as Kerry Terrance, Shane Picourt, and Roy Delorme complete your top 5. Checkered flag is out in the first of 3 qualifying heats for the modifieds. Will go to Brian McDonald. Plank will come home in second. Kerry Terrance third. Shane Picourt, Roy Delorme in that top 5 order. Casey Swamp in the 44 and Delbert LeGros in the 71 will complete your field.
Harvey Arquette Jr. along with the 29 machine of Laurent Ladouceur. Chris Raby in rounding out the field. So Papineau to the inside. It'll be Gage Moran. We're looking for the green flag. We've got the green flag coming out of turn 4. Into turn number 1 now. Moran and that new Bicknell racing machine. He's off to a great start here as he breaks away down to the backstretch. Papineau will slide up a little bit. That'll open the door for the 23, Laurent Laser Ladouceur out of Alexandria, Ontario. Correction, that is Billy Dunn in that 23D. To the inside for the number 3 spot now, the 74 of Matt Billings. Billings gets that number 3 spot away from the 188 of Papineau, but Gage Moran, he is loving life right now in that brand new Bicknell chassis as Dunn drifts to the top side a little bit coming out of turn number 3, now down into 4. Gage Moran continues to lead on lap number 2. As in behind him, Chris Raby, the points leader, kind of stuck behind the number 23 machine of Laurent Ladouceur for that number 4 spot. He'll take a peek down low, nothing there. The veteran out of Alexandria, Ontario will shut that door very quickly on the 01 machine. Moran now back up front into turn 1. Lap number 3 will be scored as Gage Moran. Moran, as we mentioned, first time out last week, a little bit of puff of smoke, perhaps a little right rear tire rub as he heads down to the backstretch now into turns 3 and 4. Down low where he likes a 16 Gage Moran in that brand new machine. Lap number 4 will be scored as Gage Moran in second, the 23 of Billy Dunn, the 3rd spot. Matt Billings, Laurent Ladouceur, that number 3-4 spot, and Raby. All sorts of problems here. Cannot make that car work down low to get by the 23 machine of Laurent Ladouceur as he hugs the bottom, forces the 01 to get onto the binders a little bit going into turn number 4. Back up front now, down to the backstretch. It'll be the 16 machine of Gage Moran halfway home as he'll put that power plant to the bottom of the racing surface coming out of 4. He'll be your race leader on lap number 5. And behind him, Billy Dunn. Matt Billings as now Laurent Ladouceur moves up the track just ever so slightly. Chris Raby not finding much real estate on the laser. The laser will shut that door one more time as they head down to the backstretch coming out of 2. Into turns 3 and 4 now. Raby doing everything he can to get by the 23 machine. He gets some momentum, but he cannot make that car stick to the bottom enough to get by the 23 machine of Laurent Ladouceur on lap number 7. Lap number 7 now, into turns 3 and 4. It'll be the 16 machine of Gage Moran coming out of 4. With 2 laps remaining, Moran has got off to a great start here tonight. He's got about a 10-car length lead on the number 2 position car of the 23D of Billy Dunn. Billy Dunn in that number 2 spot, going to try to reel in the race leader here. Heat race number 2 is 16, Gage Moran. 1 lap to go. White flag on the field as Moran maybe will work into some lap traffic here. But now here comes Raby with a great run off the bottom of turn number 4 as he'll take a peek to the inside of the 23 machine of Laurent Ladouceur. Once again, nothing there for the 01. They're racing in the same racing groove. No problem there for Laurent Ladouceur. But Gage Moran will win heat race number 2, followed by Billy Dunn, Matt Billings, Laurent Ladouceur, Chris Raby will round out your top 5.
And Timmy O'Brien was scheduled to make the call in this one. He was scheduled to start in spot number 4, but he did not answer the call. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go for the first time, and Tommy Conklin leads the way down the back straightaway. As they head down the back straightaway in a whole lot of hurry, the 29 of Conklin has not won a qualifying heat in quite some time here, all the way back to May the 25th, so he'd like to get his 3rd heat win of the season if he can. But right now he's got Perry Francis, Roy Tarbell, and Danny O'Brien right there with him as they motor down the back straightaway. The 9 of Christian Smoke rounds out the field in 5th. Up in front, Conklin won his first Mohawk feature here last season in the Sportsman Division way back on June the 3rd, and has been a struggle for Tommy in that 29 this year, jumping up to the 358 modifieds. He started strong and then just kind of faded into the wind here in the last month or so, but he's starting to rebound, and this is a good way to get your confidence back up as you look back into that second spot. Danny O'Brien is on the charge. He charged from 5th all the way up into spot number 2, and Roy Tarbell trying to do the same thing, and he will get by the 55 of Francis going down the backstretch. So Tarbell and O'Brien on the move forward as Christian Smoke watches that battle from 5th off of corner number 4. Tommy Conklin continues to lead the parade down in front. The 17 of O'Brien working back in spot number 2 with 007 of Tarbell running in spot number 3. Then it is the 55 of Francis and the 9 of Smoke in that order. Halfway sign is out. 5 laps complete. 5 more to go. Caution free so far here at the halfway point for Tom Conklin. He's making it look easy right now, but he's got some tough customers in behind him in the form of Danny O'Brien, who is a many-time feature winner here. Never a track champion, though. Danny ran here as a regular many seasons in the late 80s and early 90s when the track ran on Friday nights way back then, but has never claimed a track title here, and that was his mission this season. He is not out of the points battle whatsoever, some 30 points back, but he can make up some ground here as they go off into turns 3 and 4, and he's starting to chip away at that lead of Tommy Conklin as they come up off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. 3 laps left to go, and Conklin making that car very wide going down into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. O'Brien has closed it down to about 5 car lengths as they hit the back straightaway. Then another 7 back to the 007 of Roy Tarbell. And the 55 of Francis, the 9 of Christian Smoke completes your field. 2 laps left to go for Conklin as he's looking to run away to his 3rd heat win of the season. But Danny O'Brien has other ideas. He has narrowed the gap down to 3 car lengths as they head down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. O'Brien's now going to shift lanes. He's going to try the top shelf going through turns 3 and 4. No such luck out there. Not much grip at all. And right now, Conklin all by himself in that number 1 spot. That gap has stayed to about 3 car lengths as they motor down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag will wave this time around, and heat number 3 of the night and 3rd of the season will go to Tommy Conklin in the 29. 17 of O'Brien will come home in 2nd. 007 of Tarbell into 3rd. 55 of Francis will come home 4th. And the 9 of Christian Smoke will round your field out in the number 5 spot. So another
4th row will be Dan Denmoyer. The 6 of Stefan Lebrun. 102 is Stuart Moussa and P.J. Peters starting scratch on the field. 8 laps the distance now as Lalone to pull his machine up alongside the 88 machine of Alan Peters. Alan Peters running very strong here tonight as we've got a bunch of cars in for that number 2 spot. I'll tell you what, week after week the Pro Stocks put on some of the best side-by-side racing you will see here each and every week at the Mohawk International Raceway. On a turn 2 now, Lalone knows his car ever so slightly ahead of the 88 machine of Alan Peters. Peters onto the bottom. Here comes Rock Oban looking to split the difference coming out of turn number 4. Will he be 3 wide? No, sir. Oban will back out just a little bit coming out of turn 4. Now, Oban to the middle. 3 wide coming out of 2. Down to the backstretch. Slip a piece of paper in between those 3 top cars. 3 wide going into turn number 3. Here's the Pro Stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them. 3 wide dancing out of turn number 4. Peters, the lucky recipient of that one. He'll break away with the race lead now. The ON of Owen White up into that number 2 spot. Oban drifts to the high side. Lalone looks to the inside. 3 wide once again with Oaks on the bottom down to the backstretch. Still fire. P.J. Peters, he likes what he sees up front. He's all by himself, but here comes Owen White to the passenger side of that vehicle coming out of turn number 4. What some fantastic racing we're watching here tonight out of the Pro Stocks. To the bottom. Little bumper lump there from Owen White in that number 2 spot, but here comes a full head of steam for Dion Oaks on the bottom as now into the backside. Lalone gets into the backside of Owen White as he'll get off the back bumper a little bit and let him straighten that machine up. Tell you what, folks, watch these Pro Stocks put on a tremendous feature come later on in the evening. Alan Peters up front now. Oaks in that number 2 spot. As now Owen White in number 3 position. Lalone to the outside. Here comes Rock Oban. He was as high as 2 just a couple of laps ago. He slipped all the way back to number 5 position. 2 laps to go. Alan Peters up front, but here comes Oaks to the outside out of turn 2. Dion Oaks, he's side by side the 88 machine as they fire down to the backstretch. Dion Oaks to the top side. Alan Peters to the bottom. Is there some moisture up there for the 48 machine? That remains to be seen. Alan Peters, he's got this one under control right now with 1 lap remaining on the field. Owen White, he's going to be looking to pounce on if there's a mistake here made, but down to the backstretch so far. The 48 machine of Dean Oakes, he's now your new race leader as they enter turns 3 and 4. Peters in that number 2 spot. Owen White in the number 3 spot. Coming around, Alan Peters has got that number 2 spot, but Dean Oakes will come home and leads the most important lap, Mr. Tim Baltz.
Ready to do battle. 8 laps today. We're back on green flag flies up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Experience versus youth. And, well, Dana Akins just says, I'm going to go through the middle. And Tammy Jalbert thought she had a good look on the top side, and it didn't work out very well for her. She went from second all the way back into the clutches of Mike Arquette as she rounds out the top 5. But up in front, Thomas Cook leads the parade going down in front. And Dana Akins got a great drive going through the middle. Evoy tags the back end of Thomas Cook, and that's going to allow Dana Akins to drive around the top shelf and go to the lead down the back straightaway. As Brent Kelsey in the 30 takes an alternate route off of turn number 2, but brings it back on the back straightaway. Down in front, though, Dana Akins motors away from Evoy in the 35 of Cook. And Dylan Evoy has this speedway figured out for sure. 7 feature wins this season here at MIR, 4 at Brockville. He is the winningest driver once again this year in sportsman competition in the dirt car ranks. And I tell you what, he is well on his way to yet another Mohawk Track Championship. It would be his second, the only driver to win 2 sportsman titles if he could pull it off, but Dana Akins going to give him a run. Down the back straightaway they go. Akins has been stronger each and every week. Dana picked up his first 2 career wins 2 seasons ago at the Brockville Speedway, and they came within a span of 3 weeks, so Dana knows how to get the job done. It's just been taking him a little while to get there as they work down into turns 1 and 2. Evoy is right there. A lot of these cars, they seem to be a little bit tight getting into the corners and right through the middle, but as they come off, they seem to straighten it out, so driver has been throwing a curveball here, and as the track breaks down, and Dana Akins really hasn't had much problem, and Evoy right there with him, though, in that second spot. Pretty much had to wrestle that machine down to the bottom side of the speedway, as that inside groove is very, very good right now. Although Dion Oakes proved us all wrong in the Pro Stock Heat event as he went to the top shelf and won it, but Akins very comfortable on the bottom. Evoy right there with him as well. 2 laps left to go, and Evoy, he's going to make a run on the top shelf here and see if he can prove me wrong. Gets a little bit tight going through turns 1 and 2, and that's going to open the door for Akins to drive on by and open up about 4 car lengths as they work it up into turns 3 and 4. White flag will be displayed this time by from Austin as they head down in front. Akins and Evoy 1 and 2. Mike Arquette having a nice run. He's crawled up into that 3rd spot. Jalbert very consistent up into 4th. Brian Kopp completes the top 5 in the number 11 as Thomas Cook and Brent Kelsey have some work to do come feature time. Up into turns 3 and 4. Still a battle for the top spot as they're working off the corner. Dana Akins will grab the win in the number 8. Then it will be Dylan Evoy in the 83. The 2 of Arquette. The 1 of Jalbert, 11 of Kopp, Kelsey in the 30 and the 35 of
Your winner here a couple weeks ago. Jason Durgan in the orange 17D to the outside, the 1X of Nolan Swamp, the 44 of Jonathan Ferguson Jr., and the 29 of Thunder Anderson. And rounding out your field here tonight, now on the green flag lap, it'll be Jenna David getting a little bit to the high side as Jonathan Ferguson gets way out of shape in number 2, and he'll slide up into the marbles onto the backstretch. Mike Stacy getting stronger week after week here as he'll come around turn number 4 looking to lead lap number 1. He'll do exactly that. Jenna David back to the top side, going to do everything she can to make that machine work. Down to turn number 2, down to the backstretch. Jenna David now, your new race leader as they head into turns 3 and 4. Louis Jackson Jr., he's the man on the move as well as he's climbed up the number 3 spot, looking good around the outside of the 23 of Mike Stacy. He's done exactly that as well, as now he'll look to run down race leader, the 1L of Jenna David. Jackson will drift up the track just a little bit, going down the turn number 2, down to the backstretch. He'll fire. He regains control of that machine as he'll take it into turns 3 and 4. Now Mike Stacy starting to fall off just a little bit as the 3 machine of Adam Rozon will go to the top side in the turn number 1. Jenna David continues to lead on lap number 3. Axon Jackson Jr. Down to the backstretch for that number 2 spot. Mike Stacy, the number 3 car, and the 4 spot will go to Rozon, and Durgan rounding out your top 5 now is way out of shape as the 18 of Louis Jackson Jr. He'll get control of that machine, and then the lucky recipient there is the 1 of Jenna David. Jenna David looking comfortable in this new ride for her. She'll fire into turns number 3 now and come out of 4 looking to maintain her race lead. 5 laps in. We got 3 laps remaining here for the sportsmen. Heat race number 2 of 3 here this evening. Jenna David down to the backstretch. She continues to lead on lap number 5, but now watch the race for that number 3 spot and number 4 spot. Durgan, he found an opening on the bottom out of turn number 2, got by the 3 machine of Roson. Now sets his sights on the 23 machine of Mike Stacy. Gets on the rear bumper, and Stacy gets out of line just a little bit as they head into turns number 1. Here comes Durgan back once again. Look at the gaggle of cars. Single file coming out of turn 2 down to the backstretch. Durgan working that rear bumper of the 23 machine of Stacy, trying to loosen him up, maybe force him up the track off them that bottom groove. Durgan going to wheel his machine to the top side. Not much bite there for him, as that'll open the door for the number 3 machine of Roson to get that number 4 position back. Jenna David leads on the white flag lap. Jenna David now coming out of turn number 4. She'll look to collect another checkered, another heat race win for Jenna David, followed by the 18 of Louis Jackson, the 23 of Mike Stacy, Adam Roson, and Jason Durgan rounding out your top 5. So, Tim, things are...
Power. 5 of Wyatt Mullen, 10 of Josh Van Broncklin, Ricky Thompson in the 53. Rounding it out will be Neil Provost. Glad to have Neil back with us in the 74. Down into turns 3 and 4 to go. Josh Brockway has the lead as they're working up off the turn. The 3M of Miller having a strong run so far up into that second spot. Here comes Wyatt Mullen after him down the back straightaway, and Ricky Thompson stepped into this Tommy Jock ride a little over, well, actually last week in the St. Lawrence Seaway Sportsman Series race. Had a strong 7th place finish, had to come from the Consi to do it, and right now he has found a home. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go. The 3 of Miller followed by the 5 of Mullen, and the 70 of Brockway going at it for 2nd and 3rd as Thompson right there in 4th, with Jessica Power completing the top 5. Van Broncklin looking to move up one more spot as well. Off the corner they go. Rick Miller continues to lead the way, and Rick, of course, last year competed in the 315 modified division, had some struggles, jumped into the sportsman car, the former Thunder Anderson Sr. machine, and is running very strong up into the number 1 spot. Wyatt Mullen all by himself in 2nd. Then the battle for 3rd rages on, coming up into turn number 4, and Thompson to the inside. Brockway gets shuffled out of line, and Thompson will move up to spot number 3. The 70 of Brockway along with the 52 of Power rounding out your top 5 as Josh Van Broncklin heads down the back straightaway looking to get by Brockway for the number 5 spot, and as Neil Provost and Billy Cook complete the rest of your field. Down into turns 1 and 2 they go once again, and Miller still in full control of this one. You see the track conditions very treacherous out there for some of these drivers as they all head down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Rick Miller, Wyatt Mullen, Ricky Thompson, that's your top 3. Off of corner number 4, 2 laps left to go for Rick Miller, trying to claim his first ever heat win here. And Mohawk in the sportsman division. Wyatt Mullen has a win this year as well. Actually has 2 of them. Last one was just a few weeks ago on July the 20th as they work it up into turns 3 and 4. Ricky Thompson is 3rd, followed by Power and Van Broncklin. Down in front, Miller sees the white flag first. Wyatt Mullen trying to chase him down as they run down into turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Ricky Thompson is 3rd, followed by Jessica Power and Josh Van Broncklin. That's your top 5 as they stand right now. Up into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Rick Miller looks like he's going to be able to hold off the challenges of Wyatt Mullen. He claims his first ever sportsman heat win here at Mohawk. The 5 of Mullen, 53 of Thompson, 52 of Power, and the 10 of Van Broncklin. They'll all finish in the top 5. Brockway, Neil Provost will round out the rest of your field as Billy Cook has headed pit. Good technique out there. He's definitely done this a time or two. And we go along with the lineup. Manzira in the 17 with the 37 of Darrell Mitchell. 28 of Corey Castell, Bob Ray in the number 1, 12 of Randy Whiting. Troyer sends them off, green flag flies, and that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. How about a round of applause for Troyer once again? Great job up there, buddy. And as they head down the back straightaway, Brian, I tell you what, that was pretty cool. A thrill he'll probably never forget.
Tell you what, Austin better be looking over his shoulder. I think somebody's after his job.
Yes.
So Zyra leads lap number 1. The 89 machine of Oban settles that number 2 spot, but here comes Darrell Mitchell to the high side out of turn number 2. Down to the backstretch, the 37 machine of Darrell Mitchell. Oban looks to take a peek, be the meat in that sandwich, but he backs off it just a little bit coming into turn number 4. Zyra on the bottom, now to the top side. The 27 of Darrell Mitchell on lap number 2. It is scored as the 17 machine, but Mitchell wasting no time on this one as he'll go down the backstretch. Here comes Oban looking for something on the bottom, and won't find it there going into turn 3 as Mitchell is going to go exactly where he needs to go. There's Stuart Musa getting out of shape in between turns 3 and 4. Something broke loose on that machine, Tim Baltz. Not what Stuart Musa was looking for.
Not at all. And, of course, he's been on
As Austin's always confused as the junior flagger here. Anyway, restart. Matthew Oban off to a great restart here on lap number 3. Tim Baltz as now breaking away from the herd. The 89 of Matthew Oban, a multi-time feature winner here, is now getting out of shape down on the backstretch. The 6 machine of Faubert. The race for that number 2 spot is the one to watch on the racetrack as Mitchell gets to the top side. Zyra takes a peek and look at him go. Gets by the number 1 machine of Bob Ray. Bob Ray, track champion at the Cornwall Motor Speedway a few years back. Fights back onto the turn number 2 on the top side. Ray now settles in at number 3 position. Zyra losing a bunch of real estate as Musa rejoins the field. Wondering if Zyra's got something let loose. Now Zyra, once again, he loves that bottom coming out of turn number 4. Regains that number 4 position as Oban has broken away from the field. Open up about a 10-car length lead. Mitchell settles in that number 2 position. Here comes Bob Ray around the 17 machine for that number 3 position. I'll tell you what, if we get another restart, Bob Ray is going to be a handful for anyone. Halfway home, 12 laps the distance here for the Bandits. On Akwesasne Mohawk Casino night, you betcha. It's a fantastic night of racing. Zyra now in that number 4 spot as we got a car spinning down to the backstretch. I do believe that is the Corey Castell, and that car has been...
And racing starts at 7 o'clock at Cornwall this coming Sunday night.
So on the restart, it is Oban, the race leader. 7 laps in, 5 to go. As Oban breaks away from the number 2 car, the 37 of Daryl Mitchell. To the outside, here comes the 1 machine of Bob Ray out of Cornwall, Ontario. Now to the inside, Zyra, a little bumper love there on the 37 machine of Daryl Mitchell. He'll get in that number 3 spot, sets his sights on the number 1 car. Mitchell gets way out of shape in turn 4 onto the binders, and not sure if he's got a right foot flat that's going on him. It's only flat on the bottom, so no worries there. As firing down to the backstretch, the 89 of Oban. Number 1 machine of Bob Ray into that number 2 spot. Comes Stuart Musa. On the lead lap is the Moose is loose coming out of turn 4. As Bob Ray in the number 2 spot. Can he reel in the 89 machine of Oban? Not sure if he's going to have enough laps to do it as we've got 3 laps remaining here, actually 2.5. As Stuart Musa is a lap down. Thank you very much, Mr. Tim Baltz. As Oban comes around on lap number 10. He'll be scored your race leader on lap number 9. Lap number 10, that's where we're at. Oban into turn number 2. Ray into the 2nd position. As he's being scored, but he is down a lap. The 101 of Stuart Musa. Zyra, some problems. He'll come kind of a slow crawl down to the backstretch. Probably going to take his machine pit side. 1 lap remaining for the 89 machine of Oban. Oban in the turn number 1. Now he'll set his sights on turn number 2 down to the backstretch. He'll fire as he's got 2 more turns of the steering wheel. Looking for another feature victory here at the Mohawk International Raceway. So far this season, Oban is got 4 wins. Looking for number 5, and that's exactly what it is as Troyer brings out the checkered flag here tonight for the 89 of Oban. Oban, your 4-cylinder Bandit feature winner tonight.
He's got the double checkered flags going here, Brian. Look at that.
I'm telling you.
It's pretty impressive.
Austin might want to think about maybe talking to the casino people to get a job with them on Friday nights. I think we set a record. We're at intermission, pal.
We are at intermission right now, and there he is out of the car. 3rd win in a row, mind you, of 2012. He's also in a tight points battle over at Cornwall for another track championship. So Oban looking to claim 2 track titles this season. Crew meeting down there in Victory Lane. There's Andy Watts. Great promoters Ron Moray over at Cornwall. Had a great show last week with the World of Outlaws. We're set to go green. 25 laps of 358 modified competition. Shane Pecor and Tom Conklin lead them to the green. We're off and running. Up into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Shane Pecor leads the parade. Going down the back straightaway. Conklin, Morin, Francis and McDonald round out your top 5 early on. As field starts to spread out at lap number 1. Shane Pecor trying to turn his season around in that Warrior Racing number 4 as he leads lap number 1 going into turn 1. Down into turn number 2 they go. Pecor, Conklin, and now look at Gage Moore and fight for position down on the bottom. And looking back through the field, they're 3 wide with Kerry Torrance, Danny O'Brien, and Billy Dunn going at it. But up off the corner, Shane Pecor continues to lead the way. He has got a new dancing partner, and this is a carbon copy of what Cornwall looked like this past Sunday night. And these two drivers went at it tooth and nail for the feature win. Of course, Moore won that battle. Pecor looking to turn that around here tonight. Off of corner number 4 they go. Pecor locked right down to the bottom side of the speedway. Moore trying to go even lower, going into turns 1 and 2. They are stacked up nose to tail, going through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Now McDonald tries to put the move on Tom Conklin as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Conklin on the top shelf. McDonald way down low, and Matt Billings watching this battle from spot number 5. And it's Roy Tarbell, and look at where Billy Dunn is. Laura Lattiser up in the number 7 spot. Kerry Torrance and Chris Raby and Billy Dunn rounding out the top 10. New race leader at lap number 4. It's Gage Moran taking that number 16 up to the head of the class. 5 laps are complete, and Moran could possibly check out on this field.
That's exactly what he's looking to do. The 16 of Gage Moran. Last week's feature winner at the Cornwall Motor Speedway, looking to make it 2 for 2 in the brand new Bicknell chassis. He'll set that machine up in the turns number 3 and 4. To the bottom, he'll go. Pecor. He slams the door on the 151 of Brian McDonald. He gets squirrely, and that opens the door for Billings on the high side. Billings will take it up to the top shelf, going into turns number 2. Down to the backstretch. Billings dress up just a little bit. That'll open the door for the 29 machine of Conklin. Gage Moran. Look at him go in that brand new Bicknell chassis on lap number 6. Pecor got his hands full here with a 151 KB of Brian Slim McDonald. They're all hooked up onto the bottom. Billings in that number 4 spot. Conklin the top 5. And now to the outside. The 66X gets to around for the number 6 position. He brings along him with Lattiser. Going pit side on this one will be the 007 of Roy Tarbell. That'll be
field out there. 19 cars strong, ready to go green once again.
So it'll be Moran on the bottom to the top side, the 4 of Pecor. They've got the green flag. We're back to racing conditions. As Troyer and Austin throw the green flag, we're back under racing on lap number 8. Once again, we've got a car, and the 01 of Raby. That is not what he's looking for him to here, Tim Baltz, as Roy Tarbell will join the field from the back. Not sure if Raby's going to be able to get backfire underway. No, he is not. Raby had something let loose on that.
Set to go back under green here, Brian.
Back under green, coming out of turn 4. It is Gage Moran in that brand new Bicknell chassis. But Brian Slim McDonald, he's looking to get that race lead back from the 16 with Moran. Moran's got to love the way this power plant is working for him tonight as he'll take it into turns 3 and 4. Followed here by the 151 of McDonald. Gage Moran on lap number 10 continues to lead.
And he has got Brian McDonald right there behind him. And look at where Kerry Torrance is. Torrance has jumped up to the number 3 spot. And motoring forward, Kerry started way back in spot number 11 and working his way to the top 3 here just before the halfway point. Up into turns 3 and 4 they go. Gage Moran looking to put that car in the winner's circle. Brian McDonald almost out of shape on the front stretch. Now look where Billy Dunn is. He started 12th and he is right behind Kerry Torrance, looking for 4th around Matt Billy. And he has got it as they head down the back straightaway. Torrance and McDonald almost come together in turn number 3. This allows Billy Dunn to move to the top shelf, and he'll try to go the long way around Torrance, your 2010 track champion, and he will do so with ease as they motor into turns 1 and 2. Moran still at the head of the field, but Brian McDonald has got company now. Billy Dunn is on a tear to the top side of the speedway. Raby is not back out on the speedway, and this is huge for the track championship right now. Billy Dunn, if the race were to end right now, he would be your new points leader unofficially. Coming around halfway, sign is out. And the 16 of Moran waiting for nobody as he charges down the back straightaway with the lead, but Billy Dunn is on a mission. Dunn started 12th, lurks to the middle of the racetrack. Not too many people are able to work that portion of the speedway, but right now he's making it work for him and running down Gage Moran in the process. 14 laps are complete this time by Brian McDonald. Kerry Torrance, 3rd and 4th. Danny O'Brien, 5th place finish last week, wants to improve on that. Looks to go up to the 4th spot around Torrance. But up into turns 3 and 4, Moran has the lead, but it could go away here in a few laps.
Gage Moran, he's going to have to make that bottom side work. Billy Dunn, if he's going to get by Moran, as now Torrance and the 17 of O'Brien get together on the front stretch. Down the backstretch, Wolf Fire, turn number 3. Here's Moran on the bottom. Dunn to the top side. He power slides it up to the high side coming out of 4. Down to the bottom coming out of 4, rather. Lap number 16, Gage Moran continues to lead, but he's got company. Billy Dunn out of Watertown, New York to the top side out of 2. And watch the blow-by move on the backstretch. Billy Dunn, your new race leader. Billy Dunn to the top side. Gage Moran fights back onto the bottom, regains the lead, come around in the flag stand. Lap number 17 will be scored as Gage Moran. It's a great side-by-side battle for the lead. Billy Dunn fires off a 2, back to the high side, down to turn number 3. Moran now back to the bottom. He's looking to get that race lead back. Will he get it from the bottom side? What great racing action on lap number 18, folks. They're wheel to wheel, hub to hub as they go into turns 1 and 2. Now to the bottom side, lap number 18. Billy Dunn back to the high side. He gets away from the 16 machine. Billy Dunn, a man on a mission, looking to be your new points leader here tonight on lap number 19. Billy Dunn breaks away from Gage Moran into turn number 1. Moran looking to run away and hide and put the 7 JR car of Arkwood a lap down as he'll go to the top side out of turn number 2. Back to the bottom now in the turn number 3 is Billy Dunn. Gage Moran going to do everything to reel him in. But Tim, Billy Dunn, the man on the move.
I'll tell you what, we kind of documented at the start of the year with how competitive this field was, that if you won more than 2 races this year, you were the man. And right now, Billy Dunn is the man as he works it up off of corner number 4 in pursuit of his 5th feature win of the season. And it would be his 2nd in a row if he could possibly get the job done. Down the back straightaway they go. 4 laps left to go. Brian Page has gone down trackside to get a word with our winner. Could be Billy Dunn as he works it up into turns 3 and 4 with the lead going by Christian Smoke and now David Papineau on the 188. Field working down into turns 1 and 2, and Dunn is glued right to the bottom of the speedway. Moran, a strong run from that brand new Bicknell chassis ride. The 66 of Terrance holds down 3rd. Then 4th is Brian McDonald. A great drive for him. Battle going on for the number 5 spot. Here comes Danny O'Brien in a bit for 5th. Down on the inside, him and Billings touch wheels going into turn number 4. They lean on each other coming off the turn, and Danny O'Brien is your new 5th place driver at this time. 2 laps left to go for Billy Dunn as he works it up into turns 3 and 4. White flag being displayed this time by the man out of Watertown, New York, the Mr. Rad, number 23, works it down into turns 1 and 2. He's got the lap machine of Perry Francis right there in front of him. He's got a full straightaway lead on Gage Moran as they head off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag will wave, and Billy Dunn has taken the win, his 5th of the season, and in the process has grabbed the points lead in the modified division. Gage Moran will come home in 2nd, Terrance to 3rd, Danny O'Brien 4th, and Brian McDonald on the last lap will pull out a line and head pit side as Matt Billings will come back to finish in 5th. A great drive, though, for Billy Dunn as he will head to the scaling.
Climbing out of his machine, he's unstrapping. Another win, the 23D of Billy Dunn. As we wait, Billy didn't time it correctly for me to announce his name, but that's all right. He's getting out, hands device off. Here he is, the 23D, Billy Dunn! Get a few quick words. Billy, my man, you went by Gage Moran in that brand new Bicknell chassis. Did you think you had enough for him tonight?
I don't know. He was pretty quick all night. That's good for him. They needed a change in luck, but I really didn't think I started out the race that good. But that last restart, I found something in the middle of the racetrack that I don't think anybody was running, and it really came to life.
Now, what if I told you right now, unofficially, you're the new points leader here at Mohawk?
We're just having fun trying to win races. We're not worried about.
Oh, come on, having fun. You're the new points leader.
We missed a week, so we handicapped ourselves pretty good. But we don't. Whatever happens with the points happens. We're not. We're out here racing against 23 guys, not just 2 or 3, and just trying to get wins.
Looking pretty good here on Friday nights. You're back to Canandaigua this Saturday night. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, we got a busy week. We got Canandaigua tomorrow, then Merrittville Super Dirt Series Monday, and Michigan on Tuesday. So it's a good way to start the week. I just can't thank my guys, Joe and my dad, for coming up here every week, and Laurent and his crew. It's worked out good so far.
Thank you very much, Billy. Tonight's Akwesasne Mohawk Casino 358 Dirt Car Modified winner, the 23D, Billy Dunn. And we're going to
Season has been fantastic, but everything great must come to a close at some point. But we're going to get ready to go pro stock racing here off of turn 4. Troyer throws the green, Brian.
Troyer throws the green. Yes, he does, my friend. It is Alan Peters off to the early race lead. Yes, Gene, I said it again tonight, 2-4-2. Back to the top side. The 8 of Mark Lalone down to the back stretch. He's looking to overcome that 88 machine, but Alan Peters had a great run tonight in the heat race. But Dion Oaks came away with the heat race on lap number 8. As Alan Peters in the turn number 1. Follow up here by the 8 machine of Alone, Owen White, and the ON rides along in 3rd, LeBron in 4th, and now Oaks makes his way up to the top 5. Just got word that Jody Swap is out of town this week on a business trip. That's why he's not joining us here tonight. Out of turn 4 now, Alan Peters comes down to the flag stand on lap number 2, your race leader. As Mark Lalone selling that number 2 spot. To the outside, Owen White in the ON. Best run he's had here so far this season. Alan Peters, he likes that bottom groove, but Stefan LeBron trying to make a race of it for the number 3 spot. But here comes Owen White. Fishtails it around in front of Mark Lalone and gets that number 2 spot away. Now he'll try to set his sights on the 88 machine of Alan Peters. Can't do so now. It's to the top side, Lalone in that number 3 spot. Followed up here by the 48 machine of Oaks, 3 wide coming out of turn 4. To the bottom, LeBron gets that number 3 spot away at the flagger stand, but Alan Peters is on a mission here tonight. Looking to get another victory here at Mohawk on Aquasasni Mohawk Casino night. As you see Peters in that number 1 spot to the outside, the Owen White, but here comes Dion Oaks in the number 3 spot. He got by LeBron out of 4. Lap number 5, Alan Peters continues to lead.
And it's a great side-by-side battle for the number 1 spot. Owen White, a rookie in this division, charges to the top side. He goes to the lead. And Alan Peters relegated to the number 2 spot as they all head through turns 3 and 4. Dion Oaks used that top side to his advantage to grab the win in the qualifying heat earlier tonight. Looking to do it again, but Alan Peters fighting back on the bottom, and he'll lead lap number 6 at the stripe. The ON of Owen White, though, back to the top shelf, coming off of turn number 2, trying to get all that momentum off the top side, but Peters just a little bit quicker on the top side of turn 2. PJ Peters all out of shape going into turn number 2. He had no help. That was all by himself back there in turn number 2. Not a mistake you usually see from PJ, but your points leader will turn it back around. And were unbelievably tacky and very, very fast. That's when he got good, and then he was truthful in saying, he says, once I got out of the tacky racetracks, I wasn't so good anymore, but we all know that Marcel could get the job done on a tacky track or a dry slick track. But up in front, Alan Peters is getting it done on the dry slick surface, but Dion Oaks might have something for him. Down the back straightaway they go. Oaks on the top side, Peters down low, and Alan Peters able to hold Oaks at bay for the number 1 spot, and Oaks has found that something in the middle that Billy Dunn found just a race ago, and he motors by the 88 of Peters to take away the lead going into turn number 1, and Peters relegated to second. Stefan Lebrun picked up a feature win here just 2 weeks ago on July the 13th, his first in 4 seasons here at MIR since his track championship here in 08. Owen White having a strong run up into the 4th spot. Rock Oban holds down the number 5 position at this time, and Mark Lalone tries to get down to the inside as Dan Denway looks to make his charge to the front of the field as well. Recall Dan last year was dominant in the final few events of the Bandit division here last season as Owen White takes 3rd from Alan Peters. Peters got out of shape coming off a 2. Halfway home, Dion Oaks setting a pace very towardly out there.
Dion Oaks looking to pick up his 2nd win of the year here at Mohawk. To the top side, he'll fire in the turn number 2. Down to the backstretch he'll go. In pursuit here by the 6 machine of Stefan LeBron. Owen White with a strong run here tonight. Alan Peters in the 4th spot, and now the battle for the number 5 spot. Lalone on the bottom. Oban to the top side. Lalone's going to come out at 4 and maintain that number 5 position on lap number 11. Dion Oaks, he's up there all by himself as he fires down the backstretch. Dion Oaks is one of those racers, once he hits his racing marks and his strides, look out. It'll be gangbusters all night long, and that's exactly what it is here. Dion Oaks breaking away from the pack as now the battle for the number 2 spot between Owen White and the 6 machine of Stefan Lebrun is taking place on lap number 12. Alan Peters, he's getting back into the mix now. Is Owen White going to go to the high side down to the backstretch, look for a little bit more bite in that racing surface, and hopefully keep up his momentum as he takes it into turns 3 and 4. LeBron, he's going to stick that machine to the bottom coming out of 4, and he'll maintain number 2 spot. Lap number 13, Dion Oaks is your leader. He has opened up a wider and wider margin lap after lap. He has not looked back after taking the race lead away from Alan Peters. The number 2 spot as Owen White will go to the top side. Going into turn number 4, LeBron back to the bottom on lap number 14. I'll tell you what, Owen White is keeping the RPMs up as he goes into turn number 4. Look for a high side pass maybe this time around. He bobbles a bit going into 2. LeBron able to break away as they go down to the backstretch. Owen White now back into the top side of the speedway in the turn number 3. No, he'll go back to the bottom, gets into the back of LeBron, lets him straighten around, but that'll kill his momentum on lap number 15 as Dion Oaks continues to lead.
And he has got a healthy lead going down the back straightaway, about a straightaway as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Dion Oaks, who to my knowledge has never had a multi-win season in pro stock, is working it up off of turn number 4. He's got 4 laps left to go to try to get that feat accomplished. Oaks is your leader by a huge straightaway lead right now as Stefan LeBrun in the number 6 holds down second. Owen White doing a superb job holding down spot number 3 with Alan Peters in the 88 with the 8 of Mark Lalonde right there with him in 5th. And it's Dan Denway, Eugene Tarbell, Rock Oban, and PJ Peters. Not like those 2 drivers to be duking it out at the back of the field. So obvious handling problems with both of those machines. You see Rock Oban way loose coming off the corner, and PJ Peters cannot seem to get his car to turn very well. So problems with your top point getters at this time, but Dion Oaks making a statement here. He means business for this track championship off of corner number 4. Austin says, you got a great big lead out there with 2 laps left to go. Lap 18 is up on the scoreboard. Here comes that battle for the number 2 spot with Stefan LeBrun and Owen White. White's going to go the long way around Stefan LeBrun for the number 2 spot as they work it off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Then just behind them, Alan Peters and Mark Lalonde going at it for 4th and 5th. White flag in the air for Dion Oaks. He is gone, checked out on the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Owen White looking to get his best career pro stock finish ever as he works it up into turns 1 and 2. Side by side with LeBrun going down the back straightaway. And White will clear LeBrun as they head down the back stretch off of turn 2. Checkered flag is out and White spins on the back stretch. Had a little help from LeBrun, but he picks it back up. Dion Oaks claims his 2nd win of the season. Off turn number 4, unofficially, LeBrun will get the number 2 spot. Mark Lalonde, Alan Peters, and Dan Denway will come across to grab his best career finish in pro.
Thank you, Mr. Tim Baltz. We're waiting for the 48 machine of Dion Oaks to climb out of his racing chassis. 2nd win of the year at Mohawk. He broke a 2-year drought with a feature win as he's taking off his Hans device. He's got the checkered flag. He's climbing out the 48, Dion Oaks. Come around and get a few words with Dion. Congratulations, big guy. You got 2 in the year here at Mohawk. You went and checked out on the rest of the field. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good, I guess. I thought they were right on me, but I guess not.
Well, you won your heat race. Then tonight in the feature, once you got the lead, there was no one around you. What was the secret tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know? Somebody else working the car than you?
I mean, my buddy Butter. I don't know. Tried something new, like apparently it worked.
So far, so good. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Everybody, my family, my pit crew, whoever supports me.
Most important question, any Bud Lights left for me tonight?
I don't know, maybe now.
Oh, thanks a lot, Dion. Congratulations, tonight's Pro Stock Akwesasne Mohawk Casino winner, the 48 of Dion Oaks. With that, Tim Stacy from the position to the outside, the young hot shoe, the 1 of Jenna David in that new ride. Let's see how that's going to work out for her tonight. Stacy and David will fire. They'll get the green flag. 20 laps of distance here tonight for the sportsman. To the bottom side will go the 23 machine of Mike Stacy. He's gotten better week after week as Durgan now gets a little bumper love to Rosen. To the top side up front, it is the 1L of Jenna David. She likes what she sees. No, she gets a little high into turn 4. She's going to lose a bunch of real estate. She'll slide back in the number 7 spot. Now to the outside, the 1 of Dan Jalbert out of Cornwall, Ontario. He fires down to the backstretch, take her into turn number 3. And behind him, the young hot shoe as well, the 18 of Louis Jackson Jr. You got to wonder, will the veterans come up to the forefront tonight? Durgan gets spun around going into 4, coming out of 4. Brian Komp gets his machine straightened back out. Boy, they avoided a big collision there coming out of 4. Dan Jalbert, lap number 2, your race leader. Settling into that number 2 spot. The very, very quick 8 of Dana Akins coming out of 4. The race for the number 3 spot is Rick Miller found an opening, goes to the bottom heading into turn number 1. The man getting shuffled back through the field, the 23 of Mike Stacy. Now, Miller to that number 3 spot, looking to join Dana Akins and Dan Jalbert for that top 2 positions. As Jalbert sticks it to the bottom, coming out of 4. Dana Akins going to take a peek to the top shelf as they head into turns 1 and 2. We've got caution on the field as getting spun around here, I do believe. Not sure. Tim can't quite make out that bottom. Along with Akins, they're going to look for the green flag coming out of turn number 4. Jackson's going to take a peek coming out of 4. He'll go to the top side. And no, almost kisses the wall. We're going to yell a flag. They're going to not like that.
Forego Pro Stock Racing for 2012 to concentrate on that program.
Boy, on this restart, Jalbert slips up just a little bit. Dana Akins not able to capitalize on that one. Green flag on lap number 4. We're back to racing. Here comes Akins on the top side, down to the backstretch. Your new race leader, the 8 of Dana Akins. He's going to put his machine into turns 3 and 4. Going to go back to the bottom here. He's got to do what he can to hug that bottom, but Jalbert gets twisted on lap number 5. Dana Akins, your new race leader.
As they head through turns 1 and 2, and Jalbert trying to fight back on the bottom. Look at Rick Miller going the 3M, down low, trying to get that number 2 spot away from Dan Jalbert as the 18 of Jackson works it up into spot number 4. The 2EZ of Mike Arquette completes the top 5. Jalbert a little out of shape, and Miller catches 2, 3 tires, and upside down he goes. Red flag, and he is backed right out in the middle of the racetrack, and everybody will be able to get by as he tried to get around Jalbert for the number 2 spot. Dan probably not realizing he was down there and just got pinched into the tires. Rose on. Dylan Evoy on pursuit of win number 8 of the season. Brian Kopp and Josh Van Brocklin, that is your top 10. Green flag flies, and Jalbert back to the early race lead as they go off into turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Akins got caught on a line, and now they're 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Here comes Arquette, and Akins gets clipped by Jackson, and Jackson nowhere to go into the wall in turn number 3, ending a great ride for him. And that will bring out the 7 laps are complete. Dan Jalbert is your new race leader. The 2 of Mike Arquette is his new dancing partner. 8 of Dana Akins, 83 of Evoy, 5 of Wyatt Mullen. That's your top 5. We're back underway. And Mike Arquette wants to go to the lead in the worst way. He's on the top shelf and going to the front of the field as he hits the back straightaway and down into turns 3 and 4. Jalbert is now second, followed by Dana Akins. And look at Evoy trying to make something happen on the top shelf. Jenna Davids almost spins it towards the back of the field, but she straightens it back up at lap number 8. It is the 2EZ of Arquette. Meanwhile, battle for the number 2 spot rages on down the back straightaway. The 1 of Jalbert trying to hold Dana Akins at bay for that position as they work it up into turns 3 and 4, and Dana Akins is your new runner-up as they hit the front straightaway. 9 laps are complete. 11 more remain. Mike Arquette, who struggled mightily in the Pro Stock division just a few years ago, really came to life in the Sportsman division. He's got things going his way right now. Lap number 10 is on the board. We can have an upset here at Mohawk.
Look at the 2EZ of Mike Arquette, the pride of Brazier Falls, New York. Six it to the bottom, going to the turn number 1. Now he'll come out of 2. Looks to fire down into the backstretch, lap number 10. Mike Arquette starting to break away from the 8 of Dana Akins. Mike Arquette, he looks fast and smooth here tonight as he sticks to the bottom, coming out of turn number 4. Lap 11 will be scored as Mike Arquette. Akins in second, Evoy in third. Van Brocklin and Jalbert round out your top 5. Mike Arquette looking to bring home the checkered flag tonight. The Arquette clan here each and every week supporting Dad in his racing endeavor. Can he make it work tonight? Lap number 12. Mike Arquette continues to lead now. He's opened up a pretty good margin over Dana Akins. Mike Arquette looking to just remain in the same racing groove lap after lap as Thunder Anderson will slow down on the backstretch. He'll take his machine pit side here. As Mike Arquette hoping he goes pit side. Mike Arquette now powers back onto the gas feathers it down to the flag stand. Thunder Anderson has gone behind the pit wall on lap number 13. Mike Arkwit continues to lead. He'll fire that machine down to the backstretch. Looks to set it up into turns 3 and 4. Dana Aikens doing everything he can here to reel in the leader, Mike Arkwit. But here comes Dylan Evoy. Will he have enough laps? 6 laps remaining the distance for Mike Arkwit. Can he pull off the upset, folks? There is one family that is thinking so. Mike Arkwit down to the backstretch, doing it for his wife, his 3 boys here as he heads into turns 3 and 4. Down to the bottom, Mike Arkwit going to enter lap traffic on lap number 15. That remains to be seen. Mike Arkwit continues to lead.
5 laps left to go, and could we have a second first-time winner here in the Sportsman Division at Mohawk? Remember, the last first-time winner this year was Adam Rozon back on June the 29th, and right now he's got a couple of hot shoes behind him, but he's got Mike Stacy right there in front of him. A lap car, Stacy sideways in front of him, and Arquette able to get on by, at least for now. Then Aikens continues to narrow the gap, going into turns 1 and 2. Evoy sticks that 83 to the top shelf through turn number 1. Now he brings it to the bottom off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Arquette continues to pick his way through the lap traffic. Off of corner number 4, he is closing in on Tammy Jalbert to put her a lap down to the rest of the field. 17 laps are complete. 3 more remain. 3 to go, and Dana Aikens and Dylan Evoy are doing everything they can to run down Mike Arquette as they hit the back straightaway for the... As they head off into turns 3 and 4. Arquette sees the 2-lap flags. 2 laps left to go for Mike Arquette in the 2EZ. Dana Aikens some half straightaway back in the number 8. Then it is the 83 of Evoy not able to close the gap as they motor down the back straightaway. Couple of lap cars right in front of your leader. Jenna David and Josh Brockway right in front of your race leader. White flag in the air for Mike Arquette. This will be the biggest win of his career. Remember, this man struggled mightily in the Pro Stock division. He jumped up into Sportsman a couple of seasons ago and had a strong season, finishing top 5 in the points. Checkered flag will be waving this time by. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our second first-time winner of the Sportsman. Mike Arquette has done it. Second will go to Dana Aikens, a fine performance for him. Dylan Evoy to third. Fourth will be Wyatt Mullen, and Nolan Swamp comes home in the number 5 position. But what a drive out there for Mike Arquette in the 2EZ. I'll tell you what, he had to work to get this one. Dana Aikens will pull up alongside of him, and Mike's going to take that extra lap.
I'll tell you what, Tim, here comes Susan, Zach, Stiles, and Lucas. A family affair, the 2EZ out of Brazier Falls. Mike Arquette, first career win. As the young lads make their way up front, I had picked on Mike all year. I said, you're going to put her in victory lane one of these nights, Mike, and he does. Couldn't be happier. One of the nicest guys you're going to meet into the pits. That GM crate motor comes through for Mike Arquette, and Stiles is in last. He's getting his... So excited. He's out of the machine. The 2EZ, Mike Arquette! We'll have him come around and get a few words as he gets some hugs. Tell you what, racing is one sport that brings the family together. Mike, put her there, buddy. I told you all year you're going to get one. You got one. How's it feel, man?
Oh, this dream come true for me right here.
You're breaking my hand.
Sorry about that.
So tell me, what was the secret tonight, Mike?
Well, we tried to stay consistent. As people know here, we run fairly well on the bottom anyway, and that seemed to be the fast line tonight. So,
When did you know you had it?
well, I guess when I took first there, and it felt pretty good, so I was hoping nobody was breathing down my neck too hard. So, no, all in all, I'm ecstatic.
So I'm assuming you guys are going to go home, put the race car away, go to bed early tonight, right?
Yes, yes.
Good plan, Mike. Anybody you got to thank?
Oh, I'd like to thank all my sponsors. Without them, I absolutely couldn't even start to do it. So all the sponsors on the car, my family, all the boys are a big help. My wife supports me. So like I say, just a thank you to everybody involved and everybody that helps.
Thank you very much, Mike. Congratulations once again, buddy. Great job. The 2EZ, Mike Arquette. And he's going to make somebody richer. We'll find out who it will be.
Ready to go green. 10 cars ready to do battle for 15 laps. Tim Reef, Scott Waldruff, green flag flies. We are off and running. Quickly down into turns 1 and 2 for the first time. It will be Scotty Waldorf taking away the early advantage as they head down the back straightaway. The 7 of LaFranc boys. Look at Brian Green go down on the bottom. And Green looking to pull up alongside of LaFranc boys and take away the number 2 spot as they work through turns 3 and 4. Waldorf in command of this race. Down in front they go, but Brian Green is on a mission in that number 11 machine. Of course, good buddy his and teammate Matt Mutin struggling with some health issues here. That is why he has not been here with us. He is racing for Matt here tonight for sure, and he dives down low and handily takes away the number 1 spot from Scotty Waldorf as they work it up off of corner number 4 and down the front straightaway. Sylvain Laframboise boys is third, followed by Matthew Robinson and the 28 of Eric Dillette as they work through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Harley Brown is back there in spot number 6. Then it's Scott Meir into 7th. 8th is the 03 of Dan Reef. 9th is Shantosh, and Tim Reef completes the top 10 in the number 30 machine. 3 laps are complete, and Brian Green waiting for nobody. Of course, Green has 3 feature wins this season, and he gave Paul Klager quite the run here the last 2 weeks, but Klager came out on top. Of course, Paul not with us here this evening in that red number 1, and Brian Green looking to take the red number 11 to victory lane for the 4th time this year. Down in front they go. Waldorf chasing him down in that 2nd spot with Sylvain Laframboise boys, and now a good battle going on for the number 4 spot as Dillette and the 88 of Robinson duke it out for 4th and 5th. Robinson with a problem in the number 88, and he slows considerably going down the back straightaway. Coming off the turn, lap number 5 will go up on the scoreboard as the 11 of Green will lead it, and Robinson moving very slowly down the back straightaway, and that will bring out the yellow, and Troyer was the first one to throw that yellow. 5 laps complete, ready to go back under green. So we're set to go green, and the 11 of Brian Green running away with this one. Here comes the set in the 28 as he digs down low trying to get the number 2 spot away from Waldorf, as we got the 2 of Matt Shantosh spun over here in corner number 4. Caution flag will wave. Here on Aquasauce Mohawk Casino Night. And glad to have them on board. Once again, next week we will not be racing. One over at Cornwall, Gaetan's Chipstand Canadian Nationals, round number 2, this coming Sunday night at Cornwall Motor Speedway. Off of corner number 4, we're back underway. Green flag flies. And Brian Green jumping out to the early race lead here with 6 laps complete, 9 more to go. Scotty Waldorf trying to run him down as Dillette in the 28, holding off Sylvain Laframboise boys for the number 4 spot as they work up off of corner number 4, and Dillette gets way out of shape in turn number 4, almost loses the handle, but Sylvain Laframboise is able to collect the number 3 spot. Dillette falls to 4th, and then is the 21 of Scott Meir rounding out your top 5. Harley Brown, the 03 of Dan Reef, and the 2 of Shantosh completed. Halfway sign is out this time by, and Brian Green is your race leader.
Brian Green, he has been a man on a mission all season long. This track has slicked up just a little bit as you see Brian Green. We mentioned earlier in the night, drivers got to feather this gas pedal through the corners and down to the backstretch as cars want to drift, want to get a little slippery, greasy. I guess the best way to describe it, if I could relate it to a lot of you, even though I don't have racing experience, when you get like about a half an inch, maybe an inch of slush on the roads, you got to be careful as you come around the corners, and that's exactly what this is like driving in. Brian Green wasting no time here tonight. He's not waiting for anyone. He is absolutely checked out on the field, and on many of his victories here this past season, he has absolutely dominated the field, and same old for Brian Green. He's got a TUSA modified or mini mod light qualifying event under his belt here this year at Mohawk. But Paul Klager came in a couple of weeks ago, took 2 for 2 from Brian Green. Green now down on the bottom. He's wasting no time once again on lap number 10. 4 laps to go here. Lap number 11, Brian Green, your leader. Waldorf in second. Laframboise into the number 3 spot. Laframboise going to go to the top side here, go the long way around the 60 of Waldorf. No, not going to be able to do so as Waldorf gets back onto it. We've got a car spun in turn number 4, Matthew Shantosh. And
that's Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, well, you're baking on the streets.
Which equals out to about 35.
My job next week is going to involve cake. So I'm thinking birthday maybe urinal cake. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see on that one. As now Brian Green will refire on lap number 11. We've got 4 more laps remaining, says Troyer, as he throws the green flag onto the field, down to the backstretch. Scott Waldriff going to do everything he can to reel him in, but Sylvain Laframboise, one of those drivers, a lot of strong runs this year, but also a lot of bad luck when it comes down to the closing laps of these Mod Light feature events. The field's starting to shift itself out just a little bit as they head into turns number 1 and 2. Brian Green back to the top side, but here comes Laframboise dancing with the devil up on that edge on turn number 2. That'll open it up for Eric Dillette rides in that number 4 spot. First time visitor here to the Mohawk International Raceway, we do believe. 2 laps remaining for Brian Green. Same old story for Brian Green. Gets up front and just leaves everybody in his dust, literally and figuratively. Easy for me to say. Lap number 4. On a turn 4 rather. Brian Green, 1 more lap remaining, Mr. Tim Baltz, and Scott Waldriff in second. As now Brian Green into turn 3 and 4. Looks to settle that machine down low. He'll drift just a little bit, bobbles a little bit coming out of 4. Tonight's Mod Light future winner, the 11 of Brian Green, as Troyer, our good friend, new friend, gives him the checkered flag. Waldriff around for the number 2 spot. And that'll conclude tonight's racing
the season. And of course, before everybody gets out of the speedway, we'd like to make this announcement. The first annual Classic Car Show will be tomorrow at the Akwesasne Mohawk Casino from 11 until 5 under the big tent. So go to the big tent, see a bunch of the classic cars of the past, and have a good time over at the casino as Brian Green jumps out of the car, his 4th win of the year in Mod Light. And that will do it for us. Don't forget, next week we will be off, but also remember, 2 weeks' time, Brass Horse will be here with us for the Bailey Motor Company Pro Stock Series finale. Race time gets underway at 7:30 p.m., so mark that down on your calendar. 7:30 p.m. we are shooting for to start each and every Friday night from here on out. So on behalf of Brian Page and the entire staff here at the Mohawk International Raceway, this is Tim Baltz up topside. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night at the Brockville Speedway and even Sunday night at Cornwall. Good night, everybody.